50 years ago, on April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King Jr., the leader of the civil rights movement, was assassinated on a balcony in Memphis, Tennessee. His death caused anger among the black communities, and it caused lots of riots among the American cities. About more than 100 cities have been destroyed related to the assassination. But there was one city that didn't get destroyed by a riot because of one speech. And this speech was by presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy. Robert F. Kennedy was the brother of President John F. Kennedy, who was president a few years prior to this. 5 years to be exact. But he was shot down on a limousine in Dallas, Texas on November 22nd, 1963. And this plays an important part in his speech because Robert Kennedy, who was going to Indianapolis, was informed by many people not to go to the rally at Indianapolis, which was in the black neighborhood, and they'd warned him that it was too dangerous and that they were all going to burn the city down. But Robert F. Kennedy wasn't going to back away. He knew he had to take this moment to calm them down and use words to stop the action they were about to take. So he went up there. He went up there to give a speech. And the crowd doesn't know that King was actually assassinated. They don't know. But Robert F. Kennedy had to inform the people of the bad news. He said that
all of you,
bad news to tell
and I think sad news for all of our fellow citizens and people who love peace all over the world,
was assassinated.
And that is that Martin Luther King was shot and was killed
and
tonight.
This shocked many people in the crowd. And Robert F. Kennedy told about people of what they probably felt, knowing that now. He mentioned about how people were probably angry, wanted revenge, wanted to go against the white people because the evidence around the time he gave it was clear enough to set a firestorm among the black communities. And Robert F. Kennedy was talking about how they were probably angry and wanted to seek revenge and stuff. But he said, but we could do something else. We could try to heal the wounds. We could try to continue on what King wanted. Peace, nonviolence. That was the foundation of the civil rights movement. Nonviolent movements, peace, equality, and Robert F. Kennedy had to calm everybody down. And he also talked about how he had felt the same way as many other people. Because
my family killed,
like I said, his brother,
but he was killed by a white man.
President Kennedy was.
But we have to make an effort in the United States. We have to make an effort to understand,
he was angry,
to get beyond or go beyond these rather difficult times.
But what he did was this. He showed we could come out of this stronger. That was the point of his speech. Instead of using hate, we could come out of this stronger. He acknowledged in the speech this was a difficult time in United States history. This was 1968, one of the worst years in American history, and he understood that. In fact, before the speech, when he learned the news of Dr. King's death, he said, "When will this violence ever end?" Because the violence kept growing and growing. It just kept growing due to distrust in government, and the United States seemed to be falling apart. But he acknowledged that the America in the past has been not working well, and it will continue to do that in another time in history. But what we could do is we could try to go up higher. We can reach in a higher place. His speech was only about 5 minutes long, and many people, and the people in the rally were respectful and were listening. And after the speech, everybody applauded for it. And Indianapolis didn't have a riot after that. After authorities were scared it was going to have a riot, it never happened. And this showed how words and compassion can stop hate. And this would be seen similarly when his grandson, Joe Kennedy III, who was in the House of Representatives for Massachusetts, he spoke like his grandfather many decades earlier. He talked about hope and how we can go higher, and we need to live in peace together, heal the wounds of the nation. And this is why the speech is really good. The speech, I feel like, should be more well known with the American people, and hopefully in the future more and more people will know about this as the speech that stopped a riot in Indianapolis.